Let's start transitioning into our first panel discussion of this summit. Without further ado, we're going to be talking about the rising importance of agriculture and the security behind the food supply chain. We all know that we're using sort of smart technologies to reform the agricultural sector. Yeah. This is good. We're going to see more of it, but also how international and regional collaborations can actually help increase our safe sustainability. So we're going to be looking at that. We have two keynote speakers before I hand it over to the moderator of the first panel. This one will be delivered online. We have the governor of Erzurum, Mr. Okay Memiş. He'll be joining us online in just a moment. We're just setting him up right now. Are we ready? Hazır mıyız?
Evet.
Hazırız. Sayın Valim, duyuyor musunuz efendim?
Well, distinguished governor, do you hear me? Yes, I do hear. The floor is yours, sir. Well, first of all, I would like to greet you all from a snowy morning in Erzurum. Good morning, all. First and foremost, this is 8th of March, the Day of the Woman, including but not limited to my wife, my mother. I would like to congratulate the Women's Day, all women who work and who are mothers. We are speaking about the age of uncertainties, and the theme of this session is to live under uncertainties and live in the age of uncertainties. Well, there is an ongoing uncertainty, but it is really important for the human beings to eat healthily. I do believe this is a must, this is a fact, and this is not subject to any uncertainty. Erzurum is located on the northeastern part of Turkey with a population of approximately 1 million, and the average height of this region is 2,000 meters, and we are producing actually the crops and one of the most important crop producer of Turkey, and we have the average of 1 million of livelihoods, and as a result we are ranking on the 8th place in Turkey. And why does that matter? Why it is important that we are also breed these small cattle? Actually, the plain of Erzurum is equal to 13% of the whole Turkey's plains. That's why our animals are, I mean, which is 2 million in numerical terms, are breed in an organic environment and organic meadows. As a result, the meat and the dairy products of our region is in very high standards and in high quality. And in addition to that, we don't have big farms that we see in many other countries all around the world. So we don't have those big farms where there are 3,000 or 5,000 animals breeded. We are comprised of small and medium-scale enterprises, which is a very important contribution to our economy. We are living in a natural environment, and Erzurum is located in a very high altitude. This actually enables us to produce agricultural products in a sustainable environment. That's what I would like to reiterate once again. Erzurum is also another province where the foundations of the Republic of Turkey has been set by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. After Samsun, as you know, Atatürk has organized Erzurum Congress after 58 days. And Erzurum is also located on the Silk Road, and Erzurum is one of the most prominent provinces of the Selçukians. That's why the historical and cultural aspect of Erzurum is also very important. Since I have no idea how many minutes I do have, I am trying my best to introduce my province to you as best as I can. The Erzurum province is located on the juncture of railroads and highways. Russia, Armenia, and also Azerbaijan is located on our eastern side. So Erzurum is on the western side of those centers. As a result, Erzurum is a logistical hub. I have spoken about the advantages of our province, but what does Erzurum need? Just like many other provinces, Erzurum has as well as pluses. As we know and as we understood once again that healthy way of eating is really important, so we can package those natural and organic foods and present that to the whole world. Although we have such kind of a potential, unfortunately, we weren't capable enough to unleash our potential, whereby we can market our crops, our high quality meat and dairy products. Of course, the government has certain resources allocated to us, and the private sector has certain opportunities. But I do believe we have to make use of this advantage whereby we can present our products to the whole world. So we are in need of branded products. That's why, once again, I would like to make a call and invite all investors who are willing to invest in our region. Erzurum is a very important ski resort, by the way. Palandöken ski resort and Konaklı ski resorts are quite the quite the famous places. And as you know, the Olympics, University Olympics have been organized in Erzurum, and right now it is snowing very heavily. So Erzurum is located on a very high altitude, and the population is comprised of 500,000 people. So after you land in our airport, like 10 minutes of journey, you can reach to our resorts. Every year we are hosting almost 1 million tourists. That's why we are in need of new boutique hotels, and those needs are being covered by the private sector. Of course, we have natural beauties. As I have mentioned at the beginning of my speech, we have no idea what technology will bring along in the age of uncertainties. Technology sometimes facilitates our job, but sometimes it makes our job much more harder. That's why we have to find the balance in terms of using the technology. But there are certain things which will be, certain all the time. Having an access to healthy food, this is crystal clear. This is a must, and we have seen it at the onset of the pandemic. I mean, even the developed countries couldn't produce the masks, which costs only 50 Turkish cents. That's why the developed countries should attach significant importance to the access of having a healthy food. The Anatolian geography, which is the sign and one of the most important places of the Fertile Crescent, will play a very important part in this journey. Once again, I would like to greet you all with my most heartfelt feelings, and I would like to salute you all from Erzurum, where the Anatolian civilization has been founded. Thank you very much, Governor.
Mr. Okay Memiş, showing that his province, confronted with a fundamental problem, that of they have the products, but they're lacking the experience or the know-how, whether it be marketing or whatever, to enter the supply chain. All right, let's move on to the second of our keynote speakers for this session, Mr. Yan Jimin. He's the director of the Rural Education Development Center. He joins us now from China. He will be speaking in Chinese, but if we have our technical setup correct, you'll be hearing his speech in English. Mr. Yan, can you hear us? We're just setting up the connection. Just bear with us. Once again, we'll be talking about the increasing importance of agriculture and food supply security over the next hour. We'll be taking a short coffee break after that and then moving on to our next panel. All right, ready. Mr. Yan, can you hear us?
Hey. Hello.
Yes, good to have you here with us on the 11th Bosphorus Summit in Istanbul. We're listening to you.
尊敬的各位来宾、专家学者，尊敬的波斯普莱斯峰会组委会，尊敬的土耳其国家合作平台成吉思先生、女士们、先生们、朋友们，大家好。
Dear guests, scholars and experts from world countries, dear Bosporus Summit Organizing Committee, dear Turkish International Cooperation Platform out Mr. Judges, ladies and gentlemen, friends, hello everyone.
很高兴出席今天的由土耳其国家合作平台主办的第11届波斯普鲁斯高级论坛高级会议。我仅代表中国的农村教育发展中心和我本人向大会表示祝贺。
It is a great pleasure to attend the 11th Bosporus High-End Conference hosted by the Turkish National Cooperation Platform today. On behalf of the Rural Education Development Center in China and myself, I would like to congratulate the conference.
我是农村教育发展中心的负责人。农村教育发展中心是以开展农村校外教育、农业科技技术人才培养、高端农业技术研究等为业务范围的全国公益性事业单位，借助今天的会议，与大家共同探讨关于农业与食品安全的相关问题。
I'm the person in charge of the Rural Education Development Center, which is a national public welfare institution that conducts out-of-school education in rural areas, training of agricultural science and technology talents, and high-end agricultural technology research. With the opportunity of today's meeting, we will discuss issues related to agriculture and food safety with you.
国以民为本，民以食为先，食以安为先。食品安全重于泰山。
The country is based on the people. The people take food as the heaven, and the food takes safety as the first. The food safety responsibility is more important than mountains.
食品安全关系到全世界每个人的健康，是人类最关心的民生问题。当前，各国食品领域风险因素复杂，食品安全形势依然严峻。食品的安全根源主要来自于农业安全，而农业安全则来源于生产资料的使用。
Food safety is related to the health of everyone in the world and is the livelihood issue that human beings are most concerned about at present. The risk factors in the food sector in various countries are complex, and the food safety situation remains severe. The root of food safety meaning comes from the safety of agriculture. And the safety of agriculture comes from the use of agricultural production materials.
农业是世界上最古老的产业。中国古人言：“民者，国之根也。诚意重其食，爱其命。”早在19世纪至20世纪前期，人类一直忍受着饥荒和灾荒的折磨，一直到第2次世界大战之后，发生了根本的变化。20世纪世界农业最重大的成就之一是养活了45亿人口。
Agriculture is the world's oldest industry. The ancient Chinese said, "The people are the roots of the country." It is sincere to respect their food and love their lives. As early as the 19th century to the early 20th century, human beings have been suffering from famines and disasters. Until the Second World War, fundamental changes have been taken place. One of the most important achievements of world agriculture in the 20th century was to feed 4.5 billion people.
19世纪之后，世界人口开始史无前例的加速增长，随之以来，粮食的短缺、农业生产力的不足，导致大量的人群饥饿。为了追求农业产量，解决饥饿问题，人们开始大量的使用化肥和农药。
After the 19th century, the world's population began to accelerate unprecedentedly. Since then, the shortage of food and the inadequacy of agricultural production capacity have caused a large number of people to starve. In order to pursue agricultural output and solve the problem of hunger, people began to use a lot of chemical fertilizers and pesticides.
由于过量的使用化肥，而造成土地大面积的板结、水域污染、土壤盐碱化、农产品重金属超标等现象屡见不鲜，危害着农业的可持续发展和人类的健康。
Excessive use of chemical fertilizers has caused a large area of land compaction, water pollution, soil salinization, excessive heavy metals in agricultural products are common phenomena which endanger the sustainable development of agriculture and human health.
中国国家主席习近平高度重视人民健康安全、农业环境和食品安全问题，在不同场合多次强调保障食品安全、药品安全等多方面重要性，发表了一系列关于保障人民健康安全的重要论述。
Chinese President Xi Jinping attaches great importance to people's health and safety, agricultural environment, and food safety issues. On different occasions, it has repeatedly emphasized the importance of ensuring food safety, drug safety, and published a series of important discourses on ensuring people's health and safety.
他在中国的“十三五”规划建设中指出，实施食品安全战略，形成严密高效、社会主治的食品安全治理体系，让人民群众吃得放心。食品安全问题已经上升到国家重大战略，将全面彻底地解决食品安全问题。
He pointed out in China's 13th five-year plan proposal, implement a food safety strategy from a rigorous, efficient, and socially governed food safety governance system so that the people can eat at ease. Food safety issues have become a major national strategy, which will solve food safety issues in a comprehensive and thorough manner.
在中国国家主席亲自的关怀下，中国政府实施一系列的管理措施，加强食品安全监管， 关系到全国13亿人口舌尖上的安全，关系到人民群众身体健康和生命安全，出台了一系列制度，严字当头，严谨标准，严格监管，严厉处罚，严肃问责，做到过程严管，风险严控，完善食品药品安全监督体制，加强统一性、权威性。
Under the personal care of the Chinese president, the Chinese government has implemented a series of management measures to strengthen food safety supervision, which is related to the safety on the tip of the tongue of the country's 1.3 billion people, and the health and life safety of the people. A series of systems have been introduced with stringent rules, strict standards, strict supervision, severe penalties, and serious accountability, achieve strict process management and risk control, improve the food and drug safety supervision system, and strengthen uniformity and authority.
从满足普遍需求出发，促进全国乃至世界食品安全质量的发展。食品安全是人的基本生存保障，是最基本的民生问题。这个问题如果没有保障，其他一切都是空中楼阁。目前的中国人民吃的越来越健康，人的平均寿命逐年增长。
Promote the development of food safety and quality throughout the country and the world from meeting general needs. Food safety is the basic guarantee for human survival and the most basic livelihood issue. If this problem is not guaranteed, everything else is a castle in the sky. At present, people in China are eating more and more healthily, and their average life expectancy is increasing year by year.
重视尖端农业创新技术的重大突破和普及应用是当今世界农业发展的大趋势。把增加科技投入，推进农业科学技术创新作为发展现代农业的主要途径。
Paying attention to the major breakthroughs and the popularization of cutting-edge agricultural innovation technologies is the major trend of agricultural development in the world today. Increasing investment in science and technology and promoting innovation in agricultural science and technology are the main ways to develop modern agriculture.
食品安全问题不能忽视，生态环境的恶化让人们对生态农业发展更加重视。世界农业发展了一系列的新变化，世界各国的农业交流和外贸业务连续日益增长。在引进农业技术，吸取别国发展农业生产有益经验，在国际农业新技术交流和农业科技发展方面都有了突破性的进展。
Food safety issues cannot be ignored. The deterioration of the ecological environment makes people pay more attention to the development of ecological agriculture. A series of new changes have taken place in the world agriculture. The agricultural exchanges and foreign trade business contacts of various countries in the world are increasing. They have introduced agricultural technology and learned the beneficial experience of other countries in the development of agricultural productions. Breakthroughs have been made in the international exchange of new agricultural technologies and the development of agricultural science and technology.
近年来，中国提出人类命运共同体理念，为全球治理提供了中国方案。 人类只有一个地球，一个世界。面对世界农业安全和经济复杂形势的全球化问题，任何国家都不能独善其身。命运共同体是中国政府反复强调的关于人类社会的新理念，构建人类社会命运共同体，已写入了联合国决议，日益成为国际社会的共识。
In recent years, the concept of the community with a shared future for mankind put by China has provided a Chinese solution for global governance. Mankind has only one earth and one world. Faced with the global problems of world agricultural security and the complicated economic situation, no country can be alone. The community with a shared future is a new concept of human society that the Chinese government has repeatedly emphasized. Building a community with a shared future for mankind has been written into UN resolutions and has increasingly become the consensus of international community.
农村教育发展中心是一个公益性的事业单位，肩负着农业科技技术、农业安全和食品安全知识的教育和推广，愿与世界各国农业与食品领域的专家学者共同合作，用新的技术改善土壤问题，创新农业种植技术，为世界的粮食安全、食品安全、人类生命安全贡献力量。
The Rural Education Development Center is a public welfare institution responsible for the education and promotion of agricultural science and technology, agricultural safety and food safety knowledge. We are willing to cooperate with experts and scholars in the field of agriculture and food from all over the world to improve the soil environment with new technologies, innovate agricultural planting technology, and contribute to the world's food security, food safety, and human life safety.
我曾在2017年到访过土耳其，得到了土耳其 ACP 国家合作平台以及成吉思先生的大力相助，在这里向你们表示衷心的感谢。
I visited Turkey in 2017 and received the great help of the Turkish ACP National Cooperation Platform and Mr. Cengiz. I would like to express my sincere thanks to you.
最后，预祝本届博斯普鲁斯高级会高峰论坛圆满成功，预祝与会代表身体健康，预祝世界各国人民幸福安康。
Finally, I wish this prosperous high-end conference a complete success. I wish the delegates good health. I wish people all over the world happiness and health.
农村教育发展中心期待与各国相关领域合作，欢迎来电来函。谢谢。
The Rural Education Development Center is looking forward to cooperating with all the friends from the related fields of the countries and welcome to contact us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was Yang Jimin, the director of the Rural Education Development Center, joining us from China. Thank you very much. All right, let's move into our first panel discussion. I'm going to hand the floor over to Ms. Melia Okur. She is an seasoned journalist as well as economist. She'll be doing this next panel. Melia, the floor is yours.
Well, today is a very important day, as you know. I mean, if you put the pandemic aside, when women are not subject to violence and when women and men can produce together, then we can have the opportunity to have the happiness. Well, time is money, so we are very crowded. So without further ado, I would like to invite our panelists because the increasing importance of agriculture and the food supply security are the most important issues of today. Our first speaker is Demet, Miss Demet. By the way, this mask is providing 80% of protection. Today, for the first time, the exports have been initiated. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Osman Demirdoğan, so he will be attending online. He is also the President of the DAP Regional Development Directorate, Mehmet Yaltır, and he will be attending online, by the way. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. Hello to everyone. Let's continue with Atilla Keskin from Atatürk University, the Vice Rector. Hello, Mr. Attila. You seem wonderful. And our cheese producer cheese producer writers, Neşe Aksoy Biber and Berin Bal Onur, and Alican Aksu, the Association of the Tourism and Hotel Investors. All right then, if he is not with us, let's continue with Halil Aga, the development expert. Halil, Mr. Halil, hello and welcome. Okay, once again, I would like to say that time is money. We have to adjourn our session by 11:25. That's why the speeches will be kept very short. Our first speaker is Demet Sabancı Çetindoğan. You can come to the stage, to the platform, or you can speak wherever you are seated right now. Ms. Demet, you are a wonderful businesswoman. You work in very different fields, and all of a sudden you are invited to a meeting where the agriculture will be discussed with the theme of the age of uncertainties. Why are you interested in agriculture? Estimable speakers and panelists and distinguished audience, I'd like to greet you all with the most heartfelt sentiments and respect. So as this is the day of the woman, of course, the compassion of the woman are unique. As the founder of the Republic, Mr. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk have stated that the creator of every masterpiece is a woman. Since I have a very limited time, I would like to start my speech. We have founded a new initiative. When we discussed the topic about the women's rights, we thought that we have to provide a positive discrimination towards women until the mindset and the mentalities of the societies change. So we established an e-commerce site where only the women products can be sold. Of course, it is an e-commerce website, a traditional one, but thanks to this e-commerce website, the local producers and the global brands are sold together. So it is, as long as you are a woman, you can register to this e-commerce website in order to sell your products. And our aim was not only to present the Turkish women's products to the Turkish consumers, but we also would like to design this website to be suitable for exports. Shop Start Women, as you can see, its reflection on the screen right now. We hope that this platform will enable our women manufacturers and women producers to sell their products all around the world, and the necessary preparations have been finalized. In the upcoming 1 or 2 weeks, the Turkish women's products and goods will be sold in an international platform. We attach significant importance to this issue, and we do believe that only if our women stick together and work in solidarity, they will have a chance to present their products and goods to the Turkish consumers and customers in a worldwide sense. And we also hope that this platform will support the tourism inside of Turkey. The harvest time of an olive, during the harvest of an olive, we can visit the region where it is produced, so that we will have a chance to learn about the region, and this will also boost the internal tourism. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic, such travels are restricted and are not taking place, but I am certain that in the upcoming 2 or 3 months, those travels to the region will be initiated. And it is really important for us because visiting the production places and the workshops of our women producers and manufacturers will definitely boost up and encourage them, and their products will be presented on the front side of our e-commerce site. Thank you so much. This support that you are providing to our women should be really meaningful. But once again, I would like to say that time is money, and Turkey should learn how to manage time first and foremost. Thank you so much. Professor Dr. Osman Demirdoğan will attend online. Mr. Osman, hello. I would like to greet you all with deepest respect and affection. Well, development agencies are really meaningful for our lives. As of 2010, we have set foot on a totally different journey with the development agency. So within 5 minutes, please explain yourself and what you have to say from Eastern Anatolia. Eastern Anatolia Development General Directorate is one of the 4 DG, slightly different from the development agencies, because we are giving support to rural developments, and our aim is to cover the issues of inequalities in terms of development between different regions of Turkey. That's why we are giving direct support to agricultural producers, and we are improving their infrastructure. Providing self-sufficiency in the agriculture and at the same time boosting the regional and international cooperations are among our field of studies. As you know, due to the globalization, the self-sufficiency is not anymore a valid concept. That's why even the developed countries right now are importing their agricultural products. In addition to all of those supports, we are helping our producers to find the optimum place for their production. The industrial production can take place anywhere you want, but for the agricultural production, you have to choose the right place. And we do believe that 15 provinces of Turkey in the Anatolia are very suitable for the agricultural production. But the biggest bottleneck on that regard is the lack of the investments. Unfortunately, the agricultural producers are producing their products in a traditional manner, and they are not using the cutting-edge technology. That's why thanks to regional and international cooperations, we are trying to tackle this problem. If cooperation among countries can be established, then as the DG Rural Development, we are ready to give our best support. And we have the potential to give our best support on the regional and local level. As I told you, we also hope that we will educate and train our producers with regards to agricultural technologies, and by making use of the economies of scale, we hope that the investments in the agricultural sector will be drawn into our country. Industrial plants, for example, the sunflower and sugar beets, I mean, those products can be produced very easily in our lands. The small cattle, the production of cereals, the production of dairy and meat products can be easily carried out in our region, and in those fields we hope that we will attract both regional and international investments. And of course, these are the strategic fields of investment, which is also supported by our government. And as the regional development agencies and DGs, we will do our best to support our agricultural producers. That's why I would like to invite all regional and international investors to come to this region to invest. So it is not anymore to have a sustainable agricultural production by making use of the traditional technology, but it will only be possible with the share of know-how and technology, and thanks to those know-how sharing, this province will unleash its potential. Thank you very much. You are trying to create a regional model in terms of the rural development, and you have mentioned to the importance of the regional cooperation. This is one of the most important topics for the agricultural development in Turkey. Thank you so much. But Mr. Mehmet, I do believe you have created a development model in the field of agriculture. I believe this is my turn. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Well, since we are close friends, that's why I would like to introduce you so sincerely and causally. Could you please, within only 5 minutes, explain what you have done in Adana and how you went beyond the region? Well, first and foremost, I would like to greet all our participants with respect and affection. Well, I will be delivering a speech on agriculture in general terms. As you know, the agriculture is a strategic field. In 1970s, the USSR has had a crisis in terms of the agricultural production. That's why USSR was actually in need of the Western help. The Russian Federation took the lesson from those unfortunate events, and as a result, the Russian Federation is one of the net exporters of the cereals. In Africa, for example, people are having difficulties finding the food, but on the Western world, people are trying to limit the sugar content of their products. The Western countries are actually boosting and encouraging the free flow of the capital, but they are also putting quotas with regards to the food imports. That's why this prevents the free flow of the foods, and as a result, it requires every country to become self-sufficient. With digital, vertical, and horizontal agricultural production, as those issues of future are being discussed, but at the same time, unfortunately, in an infertile circle of protectionist measures, the agriculture are tried to be sustained. Let me briefly speak about the food safety and security. I do believe food safety and security is comprised of 3 components. One of them is the economic sustainability, and the other one is having access to the food, and the other one is the high quality food. In order to have the access to the high quality food, sustaining the high quality production is a must. Malthus, in his essay on the principles of the population, have stated that the production, if the production is increasing arithmetically, it will not suffice the need of the geometrically increasing population. But the humanity have found a solution by making use of the technology, as it has always been the case. So I also would like to approach to the sustainable agricultural development and to provide certain recommendations. I do believe that the biggest problem is the mentality that we think agriculture is a field where we can make money. The villagers and the farmer owners are thought to be the same side of the coin. Unfortunately, there is a brain drain in the field of agricultural development, and as a result of the heritage distribution, the big farms are being allocated to smaller lands. So what will be the utmost solution to those problems? In order to prevent the big farms to be allocated to small parcels, I do believe the economic incentives should be provided by the governments. And at the same time, the small enterprises should have the cutting-edge technology through know-how transfer, and the real cooperatives have been founded, and it should be encouraged by the governments through legal agreements. And let me share a small anecdote of mine. I have attended to a similar actually meeting, and I have said that the district mayors are founding those cooperatives, and I mean, this will not be the solution. And one of my friends told me that, I mean, there was actually a local mayor, the district governor, and he was very angry with me. And I have spoken to that district governor and said to him that unfortunately the cooperative owners are not embracing this sustainability issue, but he was still angry with me. But all of a sudden we have come to terms with him. For the R&D studies, we should actually keep our experts in their positions, because R&D requires time. But if those experts are, you know, sent to different places all the time, to the northern part and eastern part of Turkey, then the sustainability of the R&D will be hampered. That's why those issues should be taken into consideration. In terms of the organization, there are many organizations, many associations, and those associations, I mean the professional associations, should be differentiated from the organization for profit purposes. It doesn't matter whether it is a company or whether it is a cooperative, but the professional organization should not be indulged in the trade activities. They should be taking care of the needs and problems of our villagers and farmers. And there is also the issue of water, and I also have to make actually certain comments about it. Although Turkey seems to be a water-abundant country, but unfortunately this is not showing the reality. The open irrigation system should be converted to the closed pressured system. The dropping irrigation techniques should be used, and the sprinkling irrigation system should be opted for, so that the wild type of irrigation systems will be abundant. I am producing strawberry for the last 35 years, and we have been producing, I mean, planting strawberry on a broader scale. Adana is not the most optimum climate for the strawberry production. We would like to initiate the strawberry production in Silifke province, and we try to gather the small farmers all together by undersigning an agreement. So the small farmers with the land of 10 hectares or 20 hectares came together to produce strawberry, and we also provided them technological support so that their costs will be reduced and their efficiency and yield will be boosted. But of course, we are marketing their products all together, which enables us to brandize our products. Otherwise, we cannot expect from our small farmers to make use of the technology on their own. I mean, either we will increase the scale of those farms through legal agreements, otherwise we will not be successful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Especially the use of the land and water will be highly important, and we will be tested because of the
sosyolojik bir olaydır. Köylü ve çiftçi tanımını yapmayan bir
well, if a country is not defining their villagers and farmers right, then the countries will not solve their problems. That's why we are in need of new solutions. And Atatürk University, in cooperation with the Rural Development Agency, Atilla Keskin, will deliver the solutions. The floor is yours, please.
Teşekkür ederim Sayın Başkan. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce you our university, Atatürk University. There are some certain differences from some other universities. What is differentiating us? Since its foundation, it has got in its own a very important story of Turkey, which was being realized. When Atatürk was opening parliament, he has pointed out the fact that it was essential to have a university on the eastern part of Turkey, and in the 1920s they have achieved this. And what is different from the other universities? We do carry a certain mission. And Atatürk University in the southern eastern part of Turkey is a factory without chimney, and it's a great hope. And as the administrators and executives of this university in the last 3 years have had a very important transformation process, and the main philosophy is having contribution to the society by giving a meta-systematic approach and curriculum. And with this curriculum and content, in the following days, we will present it to the Higher Education Council, where we would like to lead towards. And Atatürk University, from Ankara, from the western part of Turkey to the eastern part, hopefully will be a very important partner for investors. We are pointing out this fact. And this big meta system have had 3 major projects. And one of those main projects is what Minanım has pointed out, agriculture school. New generation agricultural schools, 3 highly rooted faculties, agricultural faculty and engineering faculty, have gathered their forces, and education faculty have gathered their forces, and we are designing a new agricultural school. As you all know it very well, agriculture have gained a great importance and has got deep roots in Turkey. All around the world, agricultural needs are changing and evolving day by day, and the changes in agricultural biotechnology, sensitive and robotic technologies, and sensor technologies, and also machine learning, and also vertical agricultural practices and agritecture type of also plant genomics fields are developing day by day in the climate change, desertification, and the use of actually water, and having different approaches really developing day by day. Of course, agricultural approach can only be thought we are universities, we are academies. If you would like to say words about agriculture, we need to redesign the agricultural education to serve the present time needs and go beyond. And unfortunately, the Faculty of Agriculture and also the other faculties are being low capacity to enhance and empower this reality in these needs. We do have more than 40 Faculty of Agriculture. 90 of them respond to the needs of the industry. And on the other side, they are very weak in beneficial researches and implementations. Last but not least, the point that we have come so far actually points out the fact that the education in the field of agriculture has bankrupted, is out of order, and we need to redesign it, the curriculum and content. With this awareness in mind, Atatürk University assigned one of its major 10 projects to agriculture, so the field of agriculture, and from 0.0 we will redesign an agricultural content. And of course, we do have some certain collaborations with foreign bodies and academies, and 8 research conferences are going to be organized at Cornell University. Wageningen and Hoffenheim are the universities, and hopefully we will create actually a very robust infrastructure. One of the major strategic targets and objectives of Atatürk University have had a chance to be presented here. International collaboration are hopefully, and also our platform and also Bosphorus Summit will be contributing in much for all of us. You made a very radical speech with a great, actually, calmness. What type of actually students you will take? This is a new opening. I really take great importance, and I'm going to run to your university to listen to you and really need to listen to you further. Now I'm going to introduce you to young ladies. In the Ministry of actually Agriculture, we do have a Vice Minister and 155,000 farmers in the field of food, agriculture, soil, and water are going to be transformed in her hands. I really wonder how she's going to do this, but let me make you meet with these products. Andre Bullman branded a 22 years old brand, Abade and Neşe have brought this cheese to Turkey, and they do have the geographical codes right now, Turkey, and the world needs to learn it further in the field of development in e-commerce. This is the main journey to be taken. Yes, let me place it here. And here I have another product, really interests me a lot. This cheese is a dirty cheese. Have you ever heard about this dirty cheese? Let me tell you a story about this dirty cheese. Neşe, Aksoy, and Berin Bal Onur will present their Entre Gourmet products. Okay. Thank you very much, Melih Hanım. In the beginning of our journey, you have always been a part of our journey, and we are very honored and we are very happy to see you here. Approximately, we are reaching to our 25th year. The taste of Anatolia, from history to present, being brought to today by the hands of women. I would like to celebrate the World Women's Day. I would like to celebrate it for all of the working and also trying women. We have got a very short video. I'm going to pass the floor to Berlin afterwards.
Evet, teşekkür ederiz.
Thank you very much. Country Gourmet has been the start of our journey for 20 years. Our love and cheese and also chasing after an ideal have brought us to this path. Annika Simmons has got a very important statement. And what is moving the mountains from their places is the belief in them. So the beliefs do need actually very good stories. And in order to give you an impression and inspiration to move in your target, to move the mountains. Why did we believe in cheese? In our geography, in 7 different regions, we do have very lovely diversity. And actually, there is a high level of biodiversity. Think about the country. 3,000 of 12,000 plants do have an endemic structure. And when we look at the livestock, and they do have a different and a very unique structure, and agriculture is a major source. And the 3 important major food source, wheat, milk, and olive. And we can also add the grape is present on this geography. What is creating the civilization and culture is giving birth from these lands. So we are in Anatolia, and Andre Gourmet brand is telling this story and encapsulated and also hug this story. And we have believed in our values and united with our inspiration and belief, and we have taken our path. 30 meters square of a shop has started our journey in Cihangir, a very small shop. And we were not only doing the commerce of cheese, after getting involved in the business of cheese by having journeys all around Anatolia, we have learned the culture and the background, and we have learned the multiplicity and diversity and the value. And we have seen the valuable masters who are producing this product and providing us a different universe. This diversity was very beautiful for us. And with its actually commerce and cultural mission, we have 2 books which we have publicized our knowledge and expertise. The values of a country, first of all, should be known by our country, by our people. We are not only valuing them as cultural, actually, values and heritage. Also, beyond that, Turkish cheese has got an economical value globally, in the global market. And I would like to ask to our audience, do you know Artvin's Gorjala cheese, Sındırgas, Tulum cheese, Ayvalık's Dirty Lady cheese? Do you know those cheese types? I am sure many of our audience do not know these cheese types. In Italy, in pastas, Parmesan and mozzarella cheese and Roquefort cheeses are widely known. Many of you know those worldly famous cheeses. So those worldly famous cheese types are well known, which is reaching up to 120 million euro of value, and 20 million tons of cheese is being produced globally. And for Europe, the income is going around this cheese commerce. 226 local and traditional cheese producers are being protected and preserved. And we don't have any single name, any single Turkish cheese name. We have chased after this. And also for 20 years, shown a great attempt, and we have had digital coding, and we are carrying on some voluntary incentives in order to empower our brand. The standards of cheese and their durability and sustainability is aimed to be connected with the right, actually, traceable, and also infrastructures have been supported. We did not stay still. For the very first time in 2003 at a 5-star hotel, we have started our journey with Parva Tulum cheese, a 5-star hotels. Professional cuisine have had the power of our cheese, and with Andre Gourmet branded products in international markets and in e-commerce markets, actually, with the new initiative of Demet Hanım, we have taken our place, and I'm going to pass the floor to Berin. You have summarized the story of Andre very efficiently. Milk is a great, actually, glory of human beings. And when you go to Anatolia, who are preserving these miraculous food types? Woman hands protecting and preserving them. As Andre Gourmet, from past to present, we have followed the paths and the fingerprints of those cheese types. We are consuming some certain types a lot, like white cheese and also the yellow cheese. And there are many rare types of cheddar cheese, and are the widely used ones. And the culture is the main source of humankind, and the cheese is a very important cultural value of a society and bringing it to the future. And as an instrument, what is making this? It is actually the process of fermentation, and these rare type of local cheeses which are being fermented in the hands of women coming from past to present are recording the traditional recipes and keeping the register of an information. By empowering it with our present times technology, we can bring them to feature both on the industrial also in the small scale or dairy farm type of facilities may make use of them. So industrial food and industrial food production should not kill their resources. Instead, they should support it. When you go after something with a great admiration, it is opening its whole doors to you. And these great types of cheese, I mean, 4 of them have been in the Slow Food Arc of Tastes list, and 20 years provided us 2 books, and one of them is In Love of Cheese, and the other one is the Balıkesir book. And Balıkesir have the owned a different brand name, and we have had a value chain creating book. By registering some certain products about Turkey, you are creating a brand value, a brand identity, and in one of the food award category, it was selected as an awarded book. It was translated into English last November in Switzerland. It has been one of the best publications globally and attended an exhibition. This is a great honor for us. I mean, our ideal 20 years ago have been supported a lot. I mean, just like we have transformed the Turkish cheese into value in the rural economy. We want to contribute their economical income, and with this inspiration, we have tried to create some gastronomy tourism on those regions. And whatever we have done on a standard level with some specific and also haute couture type of cheeses, created a huge infrastructure. We have visited Atatürk, Atatürk University, Civil cheese, and these actually important ones, geographical indicated ones, will be not only a proud for our country, but also globally will be a proud indicator. If you go in the right path, every product, every land, every actually creative in nature is telling you its stories. If they're in the hands of women, we would like to celebrate our day. Hope that our path will be widely open. Thank you very much. Viewers, acting very modestly, you have received the Gastronomy Oscar in Hong Kong. Let's take you to your places. And in Turkey, we do have hardworking women, and we do have, of course, hardworking men. But the major problem of Turkey is actually pointing out the fact that we need of a developmental policy coming from the rural side. Who will tell us? Who will tell us? Halil Aga, a developmental expert who will speak about rural development. The floor is yours. How are you going to summarize it? I don't know.
First of all, thank you very much. Well, this summit is taking place in hard times, which excites us even more. It is also the day of women. It's Women's Day. Well, I came to the stage to summarize a very long speech, but the previous speakers, for example, the governor of Erzurum, has discussed the issues, the regional agricultural issues, and Mr. Jim from China spoke the importance of the agriculture, and the previous speakers have also mentioned to the importance of the brand, as we have seen specifically in the speech of our previous cheese producers. Well, I don't want to discuss the problems and the solution recommendations one by one because we have to discuss it hours and hours. But in a nutshell, we can say that agriculture is really important for not only Turkey, but also for the whole globe. Especially during the age of uncertainties, two things came to the fore. One of them is health, and the other one is, the food, which are interconnected with each other. Although the agricultural development has not been on the forefront of our priorities in the recent years, 6.5% of our GDP and 20% of our total production belongs to the agricultural field. Although the urban population is increasing, the majority of our provinces still have village type of settlements, and this magnifies our problems, but at the same time we are trying to develop solutions to those problems. As Ms. Neşe and Berin has mentioned in their speeches, we are not making the full of our own cheese. Why we don't export? Why we have problems in terms of the production? The European Union has set standards with regards to SPS, the plant safety and healthy. And WTO and the European Union has embraced those rules with regards to safety and security. Why couldn't we sell our dairy products? Because our raw material are not healthy. They are not at least in line with these standards. The WTO and also the European Union states that the number of the somatic cells and the bacteria in a 1 milliliter of milk is 400,000, but our figures reach to 1 million. So if we take into consideration the industrial production, it is even higher. What is the reason behind all those unfortunate figures? Are the fact that the production are taking place in an unsafe environment and without taking into consideration the safe and secure way of producing. That's why our civilizational dairy products are sold only in the internal market, and it is really hard for us to sell those products abroad. We cannot sell our meat products to Europe, for example. We are only selling our poultry products to Middle East. So it means that, our farmers are not making any money. Mr. Mehmet stated that he tries to organize the farmers, but in Turkey, unfortunately, we like top-down organization. Maybe it is embedded in our culture. Unfortunately, we lack the bottom-up type of organization, and nobody can find the instruments for bottom-up organizations. And since this is the case, we try to eradicate our organizations at the bottom, but those organizations are not something bad. If people come together to produce together, what is the harm? If farmers, the strawberry farmers, do not come together to produce together, they cannot make money. They cannot actually place their products on the market. So since this is the case, they will produce in an unsafe and unsecure environment in which they will be deprived of the further education and training opportunities. So in a nutshell, we have huge responsibilities and we have lots of opportunities and solutions in the field of agriculture. Well, in the Eastern Anatolia, there are wonderful lands where we can produce wonderful products. Beekeeping, dairy products, and meat products are very valuable in those regions, but unfortunately, we cannot brandize our products. I mean, we have universities, and I mean, the university representative is with us, and also the DAP president is with us. So we have to make use of that synergy by organizing ourselves. The public sector, the independent farmers, and the representatives of the education sector should come together. But how? I mean, it's not hard. I mean, I have been working in the field of development for the last 39 years or 40 years. Kazakhstan, for example, is one of the biggest producers of sunflower, for example, and at the same time wheat. I mean, we were sending the wheat seed to Kazakhstan like 10 years ago, but right now they are one of the biggest producers. What was the biggest problem at the onset of the pandemic? We had fears that we will not be able to find food to feed ourselves. I mean, many producing countries, for example, put limitations to their exports. Ukraine, for example, Russia, the ex-Soviet bloc countries put limitations and quotas to their sunflowers. As a result of that, there was a huge inflationary pressure on the food prices. I mean, we remember those food crises at the beginning of the 2000s. And according to FAO, the inflationary pressure is at the peak level with regards to food prices. And the farmers are undertaking the most heavy burden. The previous speakers have mentioned Ms. Aysim, for example, is the assistant to the Minister of Agriculture. I am sure that they have wonderful solution recommendations, but we are in need of a system which will be able to implement those solutions, because there is a journey starting from the farms, from the lands, and coming to our eating tables. First of all, the farmer should be able to produce their products, and in that value chain, starting from the lands being planted, coming to our eating table, we will do our best to increase our efficiency, and we are in need of profitability analysis. And only after that, we will be able to repair the broken chains in that value chain. And we should stand by our farmers and our producers. Everywhere in the world, the farmers are being supported. But sometimes we are even depriving our farmers from 1% of our GDP. If this continues like this, we will not be able to find food. Food is a weapon as well. Unfortunately, 33% of the wheat seeds are important. But normally, Turkey has always been the food warehouse of the world, because the genetic source of the wheat is located in Turkey. Unfortunately, we couldn't specialize ourselves in any field. There are certain specialists and experts in the field of cheese production, but we have to disseminate those specialties to different product types. I can continue speaking further and further, but since our moderator is staring at me very badly, so I have to keep it short. Thank you so much. All information are really important, but we have to take the right decision, and we have to find a way for solution. Of course, there are many solutions, and we shouldn't be pessimist about that. So the time is money. Maybe we can take only one question. Who would like to ask a question? If there are no further questions, it's wonderful. So let's say farewell. We will discuss agriculture even more, but we will not discuss agriculture for the sake of discussing it, because it is a sociological problem. There are problems of farmers, and we have to solve their problems with subsidies and incentives. And with regards to industrial fruit producers, we have to establish a network where they can cooperate and collaborate together, because we have the land, we have the water for irrigation, we have the labor, and human source, but unfortunately we are so confused. But even under such confusion, we will find a way for solving those problems. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our speakers. I also would like to thank you for managing time efficiently.
Some of the challenges that are faced by the agricultural sector. We've heard some case studies. I hope it was an enjoyable first panel.